There's a new kind of scooter car gaining popularity around the country, and it actually had its beginnings in a small town in Utah's West Desert.
In fact, Ed Yeates reports the man who's making them now is a native of that town. He got the idea growing up next to the railroad.
2 days before Christmas, before the snow came, Mike Jones flew to Utah from Oregon to pay a visit to a small town he remembers well. As a boy, when Mike was growing up here in Lindell, there was more than just his own house here. In fact, there was a whole row of houses. Back then, it was called Company Row. Owned by Union Pacific, moms and dads who lived on Company Row worked for the railroad.
To see my house, and even though I've been away a long time, when anybody asks where I grew up or where home is, I say Lindell, Utah.
In this backdrop, Mike Jones came up with an idea, a toy kids could ride by pushing and pulling on the handlebars. Among memories of the old steam locomotives, of rare presidential whistle stops in Lindell, Mike remembered these old hand-pump rail carts.
I thought, you know, if you could make the handlebars go back and forth on that, much like an old pump car, that'd be a fun toy to ride.
And so it happened. The toy power pumpers took off, first in steel and then later in new generation plastics. But what Jones didn't expect, how the toys have now suddenly caught on in hospital rehab units. For kids like Gloria and Eric at Shriners Hospital in Salt Lake, pushing and pulling on handlebars is more than playful. It's therapeutic.
Right there. Like tightening.
Tightening? Yeah. It's hard, but Eric's mother believes this is what her son needs.
And because they have to push all the way forward and all the way back, it pulls these muscles for him, which is really good. That's what we want to do, is exercise, and hopefully he can get more movement in his hands.
Kids love to be mobile, and it's easily accessible to get off and on because it's low to the ground, which is nice.
So this unassuming farm boy from Lindell has now become the CEO of a major Oregon company. He turned an historic railroad cart into a new generation toy and more, and then didn't even know he'd won the prestigious IDSA award until somebody called him.
He says it's a Design and Engineering Academy Awards for America. And he says the new Volkswagen Beetle won the gold and you guys won the bronze, and there were 16,000 companies competing for these awards.
It's not over yet. Next off the assembly line, this new adult pumper, a hand-powered racing machine that will really move. Ed Yeates, Eyewitness News, Lindell.